Welcome to the Crispin Podcast, the show where we talk about trending topics from people to lifestyle with your host, Crispin. We're thrilled to have you join us on this journey.
Hello everyone, it's your boy Crispin and we're back again, and of course another exciting topic, exciting people and exciting my life, So before we get into today's episode, of course, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so, like and subscribe, like and share, and tell your friends and family we are here to stick and stay, So of course, my name is Crispin, in case you don't know me, Of course, I'm not a no here today, and I have this wonderful person here, and he goes by the name
OTJ Fireman.
Yes,
I'm back
bro.
again.
I know, right? Thank you so much for coming again. And then I have this I don't know, but before we get into today's episode, okay, like what are some of the life lessons you've learned so far? Something short.
Obviously, life has taught me to be humble,
Really?
humility,
I know, right?
to be really calm, to be gentle, to take things slow.
Yes, don't rush, right?
No,
Don't rush.
you don't need to
I
rush.
love that song. Yeah, that's very good. And once again, welcome back to Christmas podcast. And of course, I have something to discuss with you actually, but I don't know if you are the right person, but we'll see. So I have a question actually, okay?
I'm open.
So, let's see. Would you be okay to disclose the sexual history with your partner?
My sexual history. Honestly, it's a little bit personal. It's a little bit private. But with my partner, I can disclose my sexual history. Because it's part of me. It's getting to know who I am. Because you should know I have experiences
Of course.
before meeting you.
Wait.
Be-
When you say
be-
experience, what do you mean by experience? It doesn't sound like a normal thing to say, like, hey, I have experiences. Meaning I've been around.
I'm a young man, and they
Okay,
call
so,
me.
no, so you're exploring.
I'm exploring.
Hey, now,
And
like experiences.
You know what they call me?
What do
They
call
call
you?
me the new generation King Solomon.
Hey, okay, I feel you. I get it. I get that memo. It makes sense. It makes sense in so many ways. And then, don't you think? No, it's actually a good thing that you really want to be honest and
I'm very
transparent with your partner. I know, but do you think it's necessary?
Honestly, I'm very open person. I'm a very open person, and I would like my partner to know who I am genuinely. If you really want to be my partner, if you really want to get to know me on that kind of level, on that kind of like attachment, on that kind of the devote kind of relationship. If you want to be my damsel, if you want to be my queen, you gotta get to know who I am.
Now
Really?
that's some bold step. I mean, listen, it's not like we have something to hide. At least I don't have something. But the thing is, like you asking someone what is a body count. It's almost like that.
True.
You understand? And for me, I always say this: whatever happens in my past is my past. When I'm with you, I don't want to go back and repeat the past.
No.
History is history. I want to just move forward. And I also don't want to know about you. Even though if I find out, it might be good or bad. But then again, if I don't want to tell, I don't want to know.
All things are passed away, behold, all things
You
have
understand?
become
So
new.
don't you think it's too much information to give to your partner?
Honestly, it's not too much information because ladies like to like a guy with experiences, a guy who can show them things, a guy who can teach them new stuff. That's what ladies want. Not a guy who is gonna be like a geek, looking at the pussy like I don't know what to do with this.
Actually, you are right on that. So I'll give you an experience. So my last relationship, okay, when I met this chick on IG, she was like, Crispin, I don't want a guy who doesn't know A, B, C, D.
You understand?
I'm like, huh?
That's what ladies
And
want.
she was asking questions that normally I'm not supposed to ask, but I'm being respectful, so I didn't want to go there. I could have gone 10 times.
True.
But I was being careful. But the way she was like counter-cross with the questions, like it was more like she was wearing the pants in relationship. Like she was asking things that I'm supposed to ask.
You're
So I'm like,
supposed to.
so I'm like, girl, don't think that just because you are speaking doesn't mean that I don't know it. I'm just not talking about it. And it's an African thing. We don't really talk about sex.
Sex, no.
Those kind of topic is very touchy.
On some ethical
So,
manners
and
cultural
as you understand,
discipline.
and as a man too, when you start speaking like as a man, when you see a woman expressing sexual fantasies, escapades, we kind of give them like the left eye, like
Are you this kind of girl?
You know, it's just a culture. We don't expect them to be like that. But of course, in today's century, things are different. I know, but it's not really something that we really liked women to do. Like we don't.
Naturally,
Yeah.
women expect men to have more experience than them. They want a man who has like knowledge about the women body, a man who can show them things, a man who can make them feel things, a man who can really explore and show her like, oh, I can make you feel this kind of feeling that you never felt before.
Okay, but the thing is, why wouldn't you wait till you're in the bedroom? Why should you discuss about this?
Oh, because
It makes you feel as if why does she want to know everything?
because
Can't she wait?
ladies, the sex starts before the bedroom. It starts before.
I mean, listen.
The romantic relationship starts before the bedroom. It's when you get to the bedroom that's when you're dominant. Before the bedroom,
Of
the
course.
lady's dominant.
Of course.
She wants to know who you are. Like,
I
are
feel
you
you.
gonna get me to that kind of?
I know.
Give me that kind of excitement in the bedroom.
To that climax. I know. I mean, it's you are right actually. But my question is, it's not too much information. It's not information, no. Like you just met a guy on the phone, maybe on the internet, on a dating something.
True.
You touch for when you start asking, what is your pet peeves? What is your turn off in bed? Like, it's too much information.
On a first date, I wouldn't recommend like.
Well,
talking
guess
about,
what?
like,
In my story, happened on the first date.
oh no. On the
That's why I was
first,
like, yo, that's a red flag, I'm like,
it's kind
so-
of a red flag because she's
Yeah.
just trying to get down and dirty.
you understand? You understand? And I don't have a problem with it, actually. So everybody has a way of finding their own sexual path, sexual interest. I don't have a problem with that. Maybe that's what makes her happy and exciting. I know.
True.
I'm a human being. I probably have my own turn ons, you understand? But I was like, yo, like, this is not too much information. So in the middle of the relationship, like, then when she saw that, I know too much. I was
Yeah.
like,
Then she-
so why were you not talking about this? I'm like, because we do not speak, we do it in action, you understand? So that is the thing, because like I said, of course, people have these days. People are having weird stuff, weird diseases, weird, So I kind of understand if a partner would want to ask for your sexual history. It's okay, but on a girlfriend level, I really don't think it's really necessary because it's more like a one night stand, a fling.
For one thing about me also is like I don't make friends with ladies. If you're similar with a girl, it's either we're doing business or we're getting in action.
Okay, so in that case, you are not obliged to actually expose or disclose.
Depends on the kind of relationship.
That's what I'm saying.
We're trying to build.
Girlfriend,
But
boyfriend.
if you're trying to be my girlfriend, I'm gonna let you know like I'm that guy who's gonna make you like climax to the point where your brain is gonna be popping out.
Fine. It's actually more adjustable. It's understandable and false. I understand that, but I mean, is it? I don't know, but I feel a certain way about this because I'm like, you met a girl and the girl wants to know about when you have the HIV, chlamydia, what's the other one, syphilis, gonorrhea. She wants to know everything.
No sickness over here because we keep it clean and
No, it's not even about you. I'm just saying in general that if the girl wants to know all these things, they're like this stuff. Me, look, personally, if I get to know your sexual history. and even if it's cleared, I'm a human being. I will have what if, maybe some doubt. Me, that's me. I don't know about you, but for me, it's good that you know also. But I don't think it's really. Of course, if I'm going to marry you, yeah, I'm not saying that. Of course, it's wrong though. It's wrong not to tell people. It's actually not right. As a doctor, you know this, right? It's okay to. It is not okay to hide your sexual history from your partners.
You gotta get yourself checked.
You understand?
Almost every month.
Yeah, medically it's not right. But I'll not just walk on the street and see a random chick that I'm just having like a one night stand. Be like, hey, I had HIV 2 years ago. I had chlamydia. It doesn't make sense. Basically, it doesn't make sense.
That's why protection first.
You understand? And I don't know, but is it okay for people to ask about your sex count? How do you say it?
Your body count.
Your body count, yeah.
If a lady asks me for my body count, I would be honest because I don't really know my body count.
That is the truth,
I lost
that is the
count
truth.
already.
Nobody know. Well, I don't know, so I won't say everybody.
For me personally,
I don't know. I don't know my body
I lost
count.
count already. I stopped counting. But for a lady, I would like to know your body count is below 5. Honestly, if your body
And you
count,
think they'll tell the truth?
if you're not being honest, I'm gonna know.
How?
because I can tell, I can
Bro,
see.
there are girls who can be with 200 guys and still be tight.
No, even if you're
Yes,
tight, I can tell. Like, oh shit, you capping. That's cap.
there are people too who have been to only one or two guys, but they're still experienced. But the one that I was with, you could tell that girl has been around the
Been-
block. Like she
She
has
run the
been.
city.
You understand?
She's the one serving
Yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah, yeah. She knew what she was talking about. But like, okay, it makes
She's
sense.
the real deal.
It makes sense. But of course, I mean, she was a very nice person though. But is it? See, people. It's okay for people to express their sexual,
True.
their sexual truth. Basically, it's good. But then again, like I saying, for me, if I find a girl who is going like that, like too raw, no filter, too direct,
If she's keeping it real with me, for me, honestly, I wouldn't blame you. I wouldn't like shame you
No, of course, I'm not
on
gonna.
a real
It's
deal.
not more like a slut shame or something, okay? But I mean, there are some questions it's left for the guys to ask. I know nobody made that rule, but we have come to accept it that there are some things guys are supposed to ask. But of course, me personally, I'm not gonna meet anybody and be like, "Hey, how many sex partners did you have? Your body count."
True.
I am not gonna do that. I don't think.
For me,
Maybe when I'm drunk.
if I'm trying to wife you, is a different scenario.
Uh-huh.
If I'm trying to wife you, your body count matters a lot. Yeah.
That's exactly.
If I'm trying to
If
wife
I'm
you,
trying to wife you, that one is different.
your body count matters because then your history is the most important thing to me because your history tells your story.
Exactly. But like I said, why would you want to know something that is gone?
Because a lady with like multiple body counts more than like 5, like you the problem now. The guy is not the problem. Yeah. What makes you like lose the first guy, lose the second guy, lose the third guy, fourth
No,
guy?
but you see, I then see this topic again. I'll just have to defend the ladies for the first time. Actually, you know what? Even not the ladies. In fact, both genders. I have this thing I always say to people. Okay, dating doesn't mean that we're going to marry you.
No.
Dating is not automatic marriage. You can date. You are dating so that you can get to know each other. You understand? Dating doesn't mean that you are going to marry the person. It's just getting to know each other. So at a point in your time, you feel like, okay, I've known you too much in the end. I don't like what I know so far. I'll move on to the next person. You understand? So if I have to kiss 10,000 frogs to find my prince or my princess, I will do it.
For me, with my experiences, I feel like I'm the type of guy who is not gonna marry like own wife. Honestly, with my story, with my history, I've been there, been around, and see for what it is. Like reality, reality these days is telling me like, you're not gonna be for one lady.
So you're for the street.
No, I'm not for the street. I'm a man. Like I'm a man. As a man, there are kind of like boundaries you can go through. You can go above and beyond. For a lady, it's different. For a lady, your body counts really matter. For a man, it's more about like your mentality, your status, who you are. Like, what are you trying to build? Who are you trying to become? And with the way I see myself as this guy who got like a open mind and open to the world, open for opportunities. And I'm not so really easily reachable or available, which makes me like this kind of guy who's not gonna be like always there for one lady. With my experiences, I've been all my exes still want to come back. So
Of course, then I mean, okay, I understand that.
my exes, they still want to come back. So what makes you so special? What makes you so different to make you feel like you're gonna lock me down?
So if I understand correctly, you don't want to be locked down by one person.
No, because then it feels like I feel like I'm caged down. I'm locked up.
So I don't know. Do you like to? I mean, every person wants to be dominant, right?
True.
So you're a dominant guy.
I'm not
I mean,
really. I'm not really. I'm not gonna say I'm a very dominant guy.
not very, but listen, everybody. See,
I like to give people their freedom.
that's what I'm saying. But see, I think people always get it wrong when they say dominant. People think that it's like aggressiveness, No, but sometimes it's okay to be. Okay, so women like men to be in charge
I'm in charge
in the
but
bedroom business.
I'm in charge.
Maybe more of it. They can be in charge after a while. or they like to start being dominant. Then later, you can take over. So I don't think it's really a bad thing for people to really accept that. I think I'm a dominant guy. I think I am.
I think you're a very
Yeah.
understanding person. You know, like how to handle business.
Yes. You
You
understand?
know when to take charge and when to say.
I'll just let you do. It's very interesting when in wild. Now I'm about to break the fourth wall. Okay.
Okay.
It's like girls talking about how big is your duel and your shillong and all that. I'm like, I don't know. Let's go there. You find out. You understand? I'm not those kind of guys that would like to brag. Oh, I have this, I have that. Let's go to the bedroom. You find out. If it's big or small, you'll find out, right? Yes, that's how it's supposed to be. I'm not gonna be sitting and be writing a whole biography about my sex organs. You understand? I have a lot of things that it's not normal for some people. I'm not seeing class doesn't mean that you are rich or you are wealthy.
True.
You understand? People think when you are class, it means you are rich, you are rich. No. Class is something that you learn.
It's about your mentality.
You understand? It's something that you learn. People have to learn to be classy and to be. Maybe I don't have to use the word classy. Maybe there's another word for that. I don't know which word to use for that.
Building yourself in the way you see yourself.
Manners,
self-image.
Self-image. You should know when to speak, when not to speak, what to say, what not to say in public, especially in public. If in a room like this, okay, no problem. We can speak or smack, no problem. But in public places, there's some things I do. Maybe because of how I was brought up, there's some things I'm not expected to say.
True.
You understand? In Ghana, we always say, no, I don't think it's Ghana. It's actually an English thing. We say, your action speaks louder than words. You understand? And it's me. That's how I am. I used to be like, okay, let me speak so that I can make confidence. But sometimes you just speak and you speak into the thin air.
The way you move speaks more than the way
you understand. You understand. And for me, even just a little bit off the topic, naturally I feel I believe in energy. When I walk in a room and I don't feel energy or the vibe,
it's not your thing.
I know it. After 10 minutes, I'm like, hey, I'm going home. Because
the vibe is off.
Naturally, I have that thing.
You can sense it.
Yeah, I have that thing. I might be smiling, hey, hi, but I knew that.
Internally, you can know, like, I'm not gonna be
no. I would just go home right now.
Like the lady I met last week. I was just chilling around with the boys, and this lady, she was looking at me from a distance. I saw her energy, I saw her vibe. I'm like, oh, she is matching my energy. I'm like, oh, there's something there. Let me see what's up. I went to her like, hey, what's good, shorty? How you doing? She's like, I saw you looking at me. I said, I saw you looking at me too.
Also, yeah.
And then she was like, nah, you were the one looking at me. I'm like, okay, don't try to be combative right now.
They two were looking at each other.
You understand? You see me, I see you.
Yeah.
What's good, shorty? How you doing? What's your name? This and that. And
she Get straight to the point.
You understand? She was cool with it. Before you know it, boy, she started kissing me.
Oh, yeah?
And I'm like, oh, shit.
Yeah, you see, she understands the assignment. People will just be like this.
You understand? Try to like manipulate.
You understand? But she knows what she wants.
She knows what
you understand?
Wants.
It's okay, but you see, it's crazy because I wouldn't. Then again, we go back to sexual thing. It's okay to disclose that to your partner. Like I say, if you know there's a potential wife or husband in that person, okay.
I saw a potential in that's why I was looking at her.
That's what I'm saying. You understand?
And I see like she can go a long distance with me with that kind of energy. Not like a door, and she got a vibe. I see like, oh, she got potential. She can go a long distance with me. Like,
you understand? It happens. Sometimes it's always about following your gut. You understand? Your gut is really, really, really have to follow because sometimes you feel like, oh, okay, I think this person's gonna work for me. Okay, but for me, like I said, I'll not walk on the street to have like a one night stand, which I don't do.
True.
I don't do one night stand. I'm just saying. I've done it before though, but I will not just go and be exposing or be disclosing my sexual history with any public person.
Not just random.
No, not randomly.
Gotta get to know each other, know your potential.
Yes.
Then I can open up to you. Not just on the first night I met you, I'm gonna be telling you my history, my life story, and everything. No,
exactly. So in a way, I do not really believe it's actually advisable to tell people, how do you even know this person? I'm going to marry this person.
No. For me.
Medical history is actually something sensitive. It's a personal thing. You just don't go around just throwing it around.
No.
Just like that.
Your medical history, your sexual history,
you keep it to yourself.
You keep it private until you see like, okay, we're going a longer distance. We're going on a longer journey together.
Then You
And
can
she
actually,
needs to know, like, oh, be aware, create awareness for her to know, like, this is who I am.
and you know one thing about this, and I might sound a little bit selfish, but I'm gonna tell you this: I'm one person. I don't want to find out
Oh no, you need to find out.
because I might not like what I will find out.
That's the problem.
You understand? So sometimes in Ghana we say something, "All die be die." I know, but no, man. There are some things like I don't want to know your sex, like
It's
your.
a difficult
I don't
situation,
know. I don't want to know your body count. Basically, I don't want to know because I don't want to start asking questions that you also be start asking questions that I cannot answer. You understand? Then again, it means we will have to both start lying.
True.
You understand? If you are, no offense though, but if you are 30 years, 28 years, you can't tell me that you had at least one sex partner.
No, it's not possible.
You understand? Like you said, I forgot mine, which is natural
I
and
don't.
normal.
I don't have any.
It's being honest. Me, I don't remember my.
No.
I always tell people I don't remember. I don't
I
remember my.
stopped counting already.
You understand?
I
I stopped
lost count
counting. I
because
lost count long time ago. So I'm not gonna sit here and be like you said, I've been around the block. I've been exposed to stuff. I'm experienced and exposed. Simple. Let's move on. Asking me how many people are.
no,
I'm gonna give you a fat lie.
that's a different story because if you want to know numbers, then you expecting me to lie.
You know, it sounds like that you just want me to lie and
And I'm not gonna be honest. You know, the rest of the relationship will just be like we going up and down, left and right.
have you had anybody in such a similar situation that you know, your friend or a colleague that can share?
With my past relationship, my last girlfriend, that was like 2 years ago.
Uh-huh.
We started as friends. You know, we met in a gathering, and before you know it, all of a sudden she was into me, and I was still like a student by then. I was still studying psychology.
So you're reading her,
Yeah,
basically.
I was studying psychology and I was studying art to see what kind of person she is. The first time she was telling me like, oh, she has this past boyfriend, but they never had anything together. They never did anything. That was her only first man in her life, but they were just like friends, you know. I was like 21 back then. She was like 18. 3 years different. 3 years different. I was like, oh, that's cool. You're still a fresh lady then. I'm still new in the game back then too.
And she's 18.
She was 18. I was
And you
I
can
was
imagine.
21. And back then also I was just like new in the game and also like, oh, we're both new in the game. So it's like a meant to be situation. Before I knew it, she was telling me like another experiences she had like with it. I'm like, bro, you told me you only had one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Before you know it, it's like two now. Before
The more you
know it,
ask
three,
people, though,
four. I'm like, oh shit. So you've been around the block.
you understand? Like it's like the more you keep on pestering, they start giving stories. That's why I'm be like, look, I don't want to know how many people you slept with, whether you slept with pigs, elephants, dogs, monkeys. I don't want to know. I just want to know what we are gonna be doing. Let's count hours.
When you were with
You
me
understand?
now, let's stay.
You
Where
understand?
we are.
Let's count what we're gonna be doing. Whatever you slept with, madman, monkey, bushmeat,
That's in the
elephant.
past.
That's in the past. I don't want to know that part. I don't want you. I want you to count what we are gonna be doing. You understand? So your sex history, that one, because of the baby's sake, maybe if you want to have babies in future, you want to know your blood type and all that. It's better to know what's called your sexual history, just to save the future babies or the future offsprings coming out. Because you into spring chicken, I'm not a spring chicken either. We are all grown up adults. You understand? So in that area, I understand. But like I said, people would just have to, even though we're doing this, we're just trying to put it out there that it is okay to disclose your
It's
your,
all
your
right.
it's all right to
I
sexual
don't judge.
yeah, I'm not saying it's good to do that actually, so don't say because I said first now I'm saying no. I'm not changing my mind. I'm just giving the both sides why you shouldn't or you may. So yes, yeah, so it's okay actually to disclose your sexual relationship with
It's all right.
with people because it helps you also, it helps you to be like you're a very honest person. But for me personally, I would do it only if I'm going to marry the person.
And it's
I have nothing to hide though. I'm just saying
also
that
build trust in a relationship.
you understand.
Because now you're being honest and the person you're being in a relationship can see like, oh, this guy's being genuine.
You
and he's
understand.
being real with me.
You understand.
So there's nothing to hide anymore.
Exactly.
And it makes the person also open up to you and let them confess their sins and you'll be like Jesus Christ forgiving them.
You understand? It's always like that, but I don't know, people something don't want to like, hey, what if I say it and then they don't marry me or they don't want to get to know me? And interesting thing about life is that when people think about sexual history, it's all about HIV.
No.
Something that can't be cured, right?
True.
You are a doctor. But see, people are okay to talk about, I had syphilis, I had gonorrhea, I had chlamydia. I had, is it say herpes or herpes?
Herpes.
Herpes. I had genital wart. See, because they know these ones can be cured.
Herpes can be cured.
You understand? Oh, what's the other one? Hepatitis. People like to say this one because this one is more grounded. It's more safe. You can actually get killed. But it's when it comes to HIV,
Those are the minimum. Yeah.
you understand because they know HIV is the boss. So like people don't want to go to that side. So as soon as people think about sexual history, that's what they think about first. But there are a lot of sexual STDs, basically STD stuff
true.
going on. It's crazy, right?
With the sexual diseases and everything. For me, I'm not really like into girls who have been around the block, honestly, because
How would you know?
I can tell already by the way you speak. It shows who you are.
Don't you know some people are just talk, and no.
Honestly, from the way a lady speaks, you can already tell if she's a clean girl or she's a dirty girl. A dirty girl, when she speaks flamboyantly to the point where she loses herself. She's just like all over the place. But a girl who is like coordinated, when she speaks, you can already hear like this girl got a family behind her. This girl come from.
You haven't met a good girl turn to a bad bitch in the room before, right? You haven't.
Okay, that's a different scenario. Like the only married kind of girl. This girl.
Those Mother Teresa, if they switch into Beyonce in the bedroom,
got 3,000.
you understand? You'll be surprised. Trust me. Look, I have stopped judging people.
Honestly,
I have stopped judging
you don't
people.
need to judge people.
No, look, when you see them on the street, I'm like, oh, that's a very well uniformed, well brought up, prim and proper lady. So in Ghana, we always say, be a bitch and a slut in your bedroom. You know, actually, for your partner. And that's be a whore and a slut for your partner in the bedroom.
Partner, yeah.
Not for random niggas. For random dudes, you know. So that's the thing. So, but I believe this is a very interesting topic that we just had because people like, what are you trying to? So you personally, what is your final say in this? Is it okay or no?
My final say is like let your partner know who you are and be genuine because from there they can see if they want to be with you or if the relationship is gonna have to come to an end. Because relationship requires openness and being true and being real. Because from there you can actually build something. If the foundation is not solid, they build in vain.
Perfect. I mean, you already know my answer, right? And I can't even think far from what you said. We're almost on the same boat. So trust me, whoever you are with, if you think there's going to be a potential, of course, you have the right to open up to the person about your sexual life because you never know what's going to happen. For the sake of your children, for yourself, for your partner, you know, be safe and be honest with yourself, of course. Thank you so much for coming to Christmas podcast.
OTJ Fire.
You understand? And of course, as you guys know, you can continue the conversation in your homes, you know, on the comment section. Ask me all the questions that you want about this topic, and of course, we can. If you find something funny about your body, please go and see your doctor. Also, please don't just sit in the home.
For sure.
If you see any scratch, any lice on your balls,
come see OTJ.
You understand? Oh, by the way, yeah, he's a doctor, so you know, so yeah,
come see OTJ.
You understand? So, guys, thank you so much for joining us today, and of course, see you on the next episode of Crispin's podcast. Bye.
Thank you for tuning into this episode of the Crispin Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on Apple Music and Spotify, leave a review, and share it with your friends and family. Your support means the world to us. See you next time.